I'll read out the key idea for today. First step is most important. Now, this another key idea was taken from TJ Walker's course from storytelling during presentations. Try to select at least 5 key ideas what you want to give, the messages which you have in mind, and try to embed those into your story. And it should be very specific. It shouldn't just disperse out like anything, and in the end it shouldn't sound like you are confused yourself. Third is writing down every statement when I feel short of words, because it happens with me when I'm talking with someone. In between, when during conversations, I pause for a while and I don't find any words to say at that time. Let's make it a daily habit that wherever I get stuck, shamelessly I pull out the diary, write down the words at which I was stuck. Go look for it, remember it, practice it, and next time I feel lucky. I am lucky, and I feel good and elated for the word which I earlier didn't know. Now I'm using it because I have seen, if I note down the 10 words every day, and even if I remember it, recall it, use it for that period of time, it doesn't comes into my dictionary or vocabulary or daily day-to-day language. Why is that? Because it's so much isolated and not being used and reused, because that is the only way that you can keep it into your vocabulary. But alas, that didn't happen. So the idea for today is, sorry I forgot, let's talk about how to just run around a single idea. uh, in 2017, when I had first joined my job, after a couple of days I was having heavy kind of headache. So I visited the medical room from our department, and the compounder checked my blood pressure. When he checked, I could see his expression, which looked looked concerned. And he said, "How are you even able to stand? It's rough to 170 to 100. At this BP, no one is able to stand." Now, I was doing just fine except a little headache, but as soon as I heard his statement, I realized that okay, my vision is going dizzy, blurry, and I should feel something. And I started feeling so, thanks to that data. Next day, I took the appointment from a family doctor. He's a very good doctor, kind of positive. As soon as you come out of his chamber, you're half recovered, thanks to his magical words. The same thing happened in his chamber when he recorded my blood pressure. It was on the higher side. He wrote that figure and started giving me few recommendations. Now he could sense on my mind, sense on my face the apprehensions which I started generating, and I tried to ask from him whether this should be something that I must be concerned or worried about. He just hit those figures with his palm and said, "Don't look at those. These are just figures and body is supposed to be so. It may shoot up one day, it may come to normal the very next moment." And it's a vicious cycle. Once you think more about it, get worried, and think about BP, you'll get the BP. That feeling was so much relieving to me that the very next moment, as I said earlier, I started feeling better. So what I want to say from this point is, these data which you try to analyze all the time can have an impact of the way you feel rather than the reality. It pushes you into its shell, in which you are only allowed to feel or sense according to what those numbers allow you to. How many times has it occurred in your case that when some doctor recommends you a prescription about some capsule or tablets, you search for that medicine on Google, And trust me, most of the times, just in the starting itself, you get to see its side effects, and the side effects are so much diffused and generalized. It looks like you are having it already. Dizziness, short of breath, feeling little pain, fatigue, all these things which can be seen or found in all of the human beings all the time. So what is happening? Instead of that medicine giving you relief, now you have looked up for that medication on Google, and suddenly things have changed for you. It isn't the same. Let us analyze these two cases separately. Case 1, there was no technology, doctor prescribed you something, and before even buying it, or just after having the first dose, you start feeling better. Why? It's a faith and not thinking much. Case 2, he prescribes you medicine, you're not yet recovered from the already ailment you're having. Now you search those data or those figures or the medicine on Google, you see the things more than you ought to know, and now you're worried from another angle. Is it helpful? Was it good to you? In any case, no. So in these modern times, when we are trying to analyze all the things in and around us, we have fallen prey to them, and these are manipulating the way we think. So the time is just not to think much and fall into the trap of this big data, because over a period of time these can be rightly said to be big data. Just enjoy. I mean, I'm not asking you to just go out and forget about any symptoms and not get yourself tested. That has its own prominence. But the best idea is not to fall trap to these numbers, not to overanalyze. Just enjoy your life the way it should be. Enjoy winters and do not look at the temperature. Just to denigrate it and compare it with the one type of winters which you used to have during your childhood. Even it's good, it's great. Don't try to connect it with temperature and day and daily predictions. Have fun. That's all from my side. Thank you.